Peter, coming home, 8th album after 5 years, and you dedicated yourself to a lot of project production, Hypocrisy, meanwhile. But now you're back with Pain, and the sound is a bit different, a bit surprising this time. It marks a step forward.
Hopefully forward, not backwards.
Of course. So sound has changed a bit, and did you maybe also change the working progress? What has changed for Peter and Pain?
A lot of things have changed in 5 years. Also, you know, things how you think change from year to year, you know. And so 5 years is a very long time, especially for me, because I'm a thinker, you know, I always think. So I don't know, after doing the last Pain album, then Hypocrisy, then Lindemann album, I knew I had to do something, you know, something special, you know, something else, change my style, or not change my style, but change things how I write music and try to renew myself.
Okay.
So hopefully it went for the better.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you are a multi-instrumentist, and you play everything. Also in the Pain albums, you play guitar, you sing, you play bass, keyboards, but you don't play drums.
Not
or
on
actually
not
on this one.
No.
Okay. So who played drums this time? And I know there's a special guest on drums also.
My son is playing drums. So the reason why he's doing it, because it was very convenient, because, you know, we live on the same roof, and when I started in September last year to write for the album, I always bring the music with me in the car or in my phone or something like that, just to, you know, always go through it to make sure everything is good. And he always heard it. So, I mean, I think, you know, he pretty much knew everything before he had to sit down and play drums. Okay. You know, it was just some fine tunings, you know, and he's a very good drummer. He's very talented, you know.
Did he play on the whole album?
Yeah, he played on the whole album. I mean, he's more like a what do you call it? Like a jazzier, progressive, you know, in death metal. Like, you know.
So he has a new color.
Yeah, he needs also, you know, I think the AC/DC simple but groovy style, and I think he did a very great job with that. You know?
Okay, good. So this song is very particular. You worked at it with your wife. And did she write the lyrics, as you told us?
She's not only my fiance, but she's even my manager as well. And I guess she has some strange ideas. She and me wrote this lyrics together, and you know, it felt good to have a woman writing it with you, because it's about kind of sexist and stuff like that. So I didn't want to have any problems with it, you know, because people can get the wrong idea that you are just blind manny man, macho. You know, macho man, you know. But it's pretty funny that, you know, she has such a great humor as well, and she's very talented to write lyrics. So.
Great. What's it? We can tell her name?
Sanna Bark.
Okay.
Yeah.
You play basically everything, but you started. Paula is asking. You started with
drums.
With one instrument in particular.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, why actually? And I'm adding. Why did you actually develop? Other instruments after, and you didn't stick with the drums, and it's something that actually in this record you didn't play at all.
Yeah, it's very simple. I started playing drums when I was 8 or 9 years old. I can't really remember how and when, and but it doesn't matter. Somewhere around there I started, and I got my drum set. And then, you know, when you got older and stuff, you know, I was like 13. We went into a different school. I mean, 1st to 3rd grade is called something, and the 4th to 6th called something. I don't know in English what it's called, but and then high school and all blah blah blah.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah. So when I was 13, we moved to a bigger school, you know, because all the kids that started in 7th grade went together with all the other ones.
Yes.
And so I found a school band there. They were already in 9th grade, and I was in 7th, so I started playing drums with them. And it was fun, you know. You had a real band and stuff. But then, you know, I wanted to tell them what to play, you know. It started already there, you know, somehow, you know, like,
Okay.
so usually I had an acoustic guitar behind me, and I was like, you know, can you please play like this? And they were like, huh? And they're like this? Yeah. And then back again, you know, and then, can you play like this now, after this? And, you know, at the end, it was just like, okay, I might as well start learning playing guitar, you know, because it was easier.
Yeah, okay. So you did it by yourself instead of explaining what you wanted.
Yeah. So
Okay.
all suddenly with one of the other bands, I was in 2 bands at that time. The other band, I just jump over and start playing guitar, because it was 3 people in the beginning. It was a drummer, bass player, and guitarist. And
Yeah.
then I jumped to
Power
play
trio.
the second guitarist, and then we got a drummer. So then it was easier to get it going.
Allora, The Pain is basically in studio is a project where you do everything on your own. But when you go on tour, you play live, you need, of course, other musicians.
Exactly.
Or did you ever think that it was possible to do one-man band also live?
Yeah, you put a big bass drum on your back instead. You know?
Impossible.
Yeah. No, I mean, the constellation of I wouldn't say members, but friends helping out for gigs and stuff has been very many. You know, bass players, guitar players, drummers here and there, and blah blah blah. But I mean, David has been playing drums for Pain for I don't know, since 2004, I think. You know, live, and he played on the You Only Live Twice album. You know?
Okay.
And then there's been some guitarists coming and going, helping out and stuff. But since 2007, we had like a steady lineup for live, you know. So, I mean, you know, in the beginning it was terrible. You know, in Sweden it was very big with End of the Line, Shut Your Mouth and all that. It exploded. And I didn't have a band, you know. And it sold gold in Sweden, and it was chaos. And I was like, I have no band.
Actually, it took you by surprise, maybe.
Yeah, it was not supposed to be like that.
All
you know?
right.
Not in my world, but so we had to put people together and stuff, and it was very horrible. You know, both me singing live and
Okay.
It's not until the last 10 years it started to sound good live. You know.
So this Hey Hey Hey, of course, reminds of Alice Cooper, Hey Stupid.
Yeah.
And I know this song is related to, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, to a fact that happened, an accident that happened during Nightwish tour in 2008. Is this a song dedicated to that gang attack that you had? Is that correct?
Yeah, both yes and no. I can say like this. A friend of mine, he said like, why don't you write a song about Absinthe? And I said, no, Absinthe only gives me bad memories. Yeah. And then I went, aha. So he triggered it, and so I wrote a song about it. And hey, yeah, I don't know. It could be Alice Cooper, sure, but that was not in my mind.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter. Well, people can interpret it or whatever. It's not the important thing. The important thing is, for me, it's like a very different song on this album. It doesn't really sound like anything else.
More rock and roll.
Yeah, it's more rock and roll, and it's some
British.
some people say it sounds British. I don't know why. I never know why I think the song sounds the way they do.
Yeah.
When I'm done with it, I have no clue. It's something I have for the moment, and I have to get it out somehow. So
good question. So Mario is asking, did it ever happen that something that you wrote for Pain went on a Hypocrisy album and vice versa, the other way? Did it ever happen something like that?
No, but it happened that on some hippo songs it would have been better if it went on a Pain thing or the opposite without knowing it.
Okay.
You know, until when it's too late, you know. So nobody's perfect. Sorry, you know. I'm only human. But the best part is I have fans that will tell me that as well. So they will tell me if I get out of line, they will tell me, hey, maybe you shouldn't have done that, maybe you should have. And really, they are right. You know, sometimes you're so involved in yourself, you don't think, you know.
Right.
So I get very good fans, so, you know.
So, Peter, you're one of the pioneers of industrial as it is conceived in Pain. No, you don't want to say that.
No.
But mixing, you know, what we wanted to ask you is how was, since you said that you're inspired by the moment and by what you have inside, which was the vision for you? Why you decided to mix heavy metal and techno in the very first place?
I was not even supposed to put in any heavy metal at all. You know, I was supposed to do like Goa trance techno in the 90s, in the mid 90s, because I love distorted keyboards and you know, the melodies that a song that's 8 minutes long but it feels like 2 minutes, you know, and I was like, wow. But I didn't know how to make it. So I have shitty sound, so it wasn't good enough, so I started putting guitars on. And then all suddenly something grew out of it, you know, so it became the industrial feeling, I guess, you know, plus with drum machine and very cold sound, and all suddenly I sounded like a little bit like, I don't know, Rob Zombie or Ministry that I never really listened to before. So without knowing it, my music came into a music style that I really didn't know before, you know, so it was an accident, so to say. You know?
So Call Me is a very particular new video. And there are these puppets of you and of Joakim, of course, from SABATON, which is a special guest in the song. So how did you collaborate with him? Actually, there's a connection since your brother Tommy has been SABATON manager.
No, not manager.
Not manager.
Producer.
Producer. Okay. And so you're a family of producers. And so that's by DNA. And so who had the idea for the puppets? How was this video conceived?
We had some problems with the video, but you can probably understand that. You know, within closer area of my. Whatever. Anyhow, it was Ville who did Dirty Woman, Follow Me, and he'd done a lot, and he also did DVDs for us. And he had an idea because he knew someone, because he's from Finland, and he said like, there's a woman in Finland who makes puppies. Puppets, not puppies, puppets. And he said like, let's do a puppet video. It's gonna cost, but it could be good. I don't know. Should we do it? I'm like, how much do you think it was going to cost? I don't know. Just tell me, should we do it or not? But how much? I don't know, between 10,000 and 50,000 euros. I'm like,
oh my God, a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, well, you know, it costs to make them and blah, blah, blah. And you have to have, they're full grown.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like the same size as me.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
Except the waist down is nothing, you know. You have to put in the hand and use the other hand on the this. So, and I said, let's do it. Just do it. And I asked the story. It's like it's about the 70s when the managers were the rock stars behind the stage, you know. Where they took all the band's money and snorted up and having sex with all the ladies back there and so on, you know. And the band got the rest, whatever was left, kind of, you know, like Led Zeppelin management, you know, kind of thing, you know. So I said, okay, let's do it. And this is the result we got.
Did you keep the puppet?
Yeah, I got it.
And you got it at home? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So in the end, how much the video cost?
I'm not going to tell you.
But if you said something between 10,000 and 15, 30?
50.
Wow.
Between 10 and 50.
All right.
Somewhere around in this area.
Allora, the inspiration for the lyrics this time was quite different than in the past. And did you work also, as you work with your fiancé, did you work also with somebody else? And is it all stories about real things that happened, or it's also just, you know, reflection, the mind that flies?
I think it's mixed things, you know. Sana helped me with that song, and she also helped me with another song that's called Me Against the Universe, but it's on a bonus track. But other than that, I think I did all of them, but the rest of them. But I mean, all songs are different from each other. I mean, this song "Call Me" is really about a gigolo, you know. Call me and then we'll, you know, and you give me money. And so I mean, Designed to Piss You Off is really about my childhood when I was a kid, because I was really a wild child. I, you know, set cars on fire. I set the school not on fire, but the school toilet on fire, and crashing window. I was, I tell you, the drumming saved me. You know, then I calm down, you know. So I got ADD or whatever it's called. HDA, yeah, you know all that shit. Yeah. But what else do we have? Yeah, we got Absinthe that I told you about, like the bar fight, and Starseed is more like an epic song, but with a little bit more positive. It's very melancholy song. Maybe we should listen to it later.
Okay. Yes, Starseed.
But it has a positive message, you know. If you mix this dark stuff in the music with a little bit positive thing, you get another twist on the things, you know. So, I mean, all the songs has its own life, you know. It's a different chapter, and I think also the music is very different every song from itself as well. I don't know if people are ready for that kind of album, you know, because usually people want something that goes in the same way always. For me, I think it's boring. That's why I'm trying to do something different, a little bit more schizophrenic, but you know, I think there's something for everybody.
Okay.
If you don't like this song, maybe you like that song, or if you
All
like.
right.
But for me, it's perfect mix.
Okay. Apart from Joakim and your son Sebastian, there's another guest, which is Clemens of the Dutch band Tägtgren. I hope I pronounce it correctly.
Yes.
And how this collaboration started, and what did he do exactly in the song? Which was his collaboration?
The thing is, like, I mixed the last Tägtgren, and when I got the files, I turn up one by one, and I hear these really nice orchestra things, and I was like, wow. And so I asked him, where did you go and record the orchestra? Did you go to Prague, or where did you? And he's like, no, I do it at my home. I'm like, what? I work with movies as well, movie music. So I was like, oh, really? Yeah. So do you think you can pimp up my stuff? And he's like, yeah, send it over. And so I send him over my melodies and everything, and he builds this whole orchestra for hundreds of people, you know, kind of feeling to it, you know. And he sends it back, and we're like, oh, this is good.
Good.
Yeah, this is good. You know, so it means that
he worked on different songs.
Yeah, he did like 4 or 5 songs on this album. Some songs has only small parts. Some songs has a lot, you know, and it's just to not getting tired of it. I mean, you know, Nightwish are good on doing these things, you know, but they do it for real. You know, they spend thousands and thousands of euros on this, and you know, go to Abbey Road studio and do all these.
Also, Epica on the last album, they used a real orchestra, and it was huge.
Yeah, I can imagine. You know, but I don't want to take it that far. You know, for me, it's just another spice on the food. You know, I think. To make it a more dimensions.
It's not the principal sound, right?
Yeah, I always had like orchestra part. I did Eleanor Rigby, you know, in 2001, I think, or 2000, and I went to Stockholm to they have a national radio symphonic stuff, and they put it on in the Polar studio, you know, where ABBA and Rolling Stones and everybody recorded. And since after that, I always put some parts in there, but I never had the good sound in it, you know, so it never went through the music, you know, as Clemens is helping me with now. So he really
specialized.
He's very good on this. So you know, it sounds really like, you know, even if he does it with his computer, it sounds like a real violin. And if you listen to Starseed in the beginning, he's actually playing the violin.
Yeah. Wow.
Also.
Okay. So Black Knight Satellite was the first lyric video coming out presenting the new Pain album Coming Home. And actually it seems related to the cover where you appear dressed as an astronaut. So are the two things related, and how did it work?
I think you could probably say that they are related because it's got about space and the spacesuit and so on, but the whole thing with the cover, for instance, was like, I always wanted to go to space, of course, you know, and if you go to space, you need a spacesuit.
Of course.
And so at least I can pretend, you know, to be an astronaut.
Okay.
And I wanted that, and I want desert, you know. I wanted two different things, you know, and I told Hailey, who did the cover, and he really twisted it around and made this cover. That's, for me, it's just art, you know. It doesn't mean any weird things or anything. It just looks, it makes you think, like, what does he mean? Yeah, that's the point. I don't know what I mean.
Okay.
I just wanted that, you know?
In parte sì, in parte no. Dipende. Okay, another beer. Okay.
Another beer. It's Friday night.
More fuel. Okay.
More fuel. Okay, so let's go to Black Knight Satellite. I always out on internet and getting new info about everything, you know. Mainly whatever is up in the sky, or mainly what's with the secret space program, or what different countries of governments are stealing from you and doing this and that and blah blah blah. I'm not gonna be political now. And for some reason I fell into seeing this Black Knight Satellite all the time, and I was like, what is this? I'll take it later, you know, and then keep on going, like, and then it comes again. I was like, it's haunting me, you know. So okay, I click on it and start reading about it, and it was very fascinating, you know. It's like, is it a fairy tale or is it actually real? Anyhow, the whole thing about this song is supposedly that something has been up in the sky for 13,000 years and watching us or doing something, just being there. And it's going in a north-south polar orbit.
Okay.
So it's not going like satellite like this. It's going like this.
Okay.
Okay, and also Tesla in 1901, 2, 3, whatever. He said there's something up there. I know there's something beeping, and people were laughing at him. And in the 50s and 60s, when the technology got better, people was like, yeah, there is something up there. What's going on, and so on. And this whole story, yeah, that's basically what the song is about. You know, there's something up there watching us. And what happened 13,000 years ago? I think. No, I'll shut up because I'm not 100. Anyhow, just Google Black Knight Satellite, and it's a fascinating story. And I mean, even the Vatican is talking about, like, how should we go about if aliens come here, and if they started talking about it, then you know, what?
Okay.
You know, I don't know.
So
it's very interesting thing for me because it opens my mind. Things are going in there and go out there, and some stuff stays where I think, like, could happen, maybe not.
So Black Knight Satellite is the name of this satellite going north-south that you were talking about.
Yeah. I have to say one thing, and also UN has an ambassador for if alien comes. It's like you start going like, what the hell is going on here? You know, are they fucking with you? Oops, sorry. Are they pulling your chain, or you know, there's always keep your mind open, because things are not what you think it is sometimes, you know. So always, you know, a lot of blah blah blah, you know, on the net, and sometimes there's a lot of wow, you know. So you always have to filter what you see, you know. So
you've been on promotion the whole week, a couple of weeks. How long you've been doing this? I mean, what we wanted to ask, you know, if Italy happened on the release date by accident, or it was chosen.
Since I'm in Italy, I would say it was chosen. We started actually in beginning of June. Or mid-June at Nuclear Blast office in Germany.
Okay.
And playing the song, the album for everybody. And except 2 songs, because we didn't have any lyrics on that. It was Pain in the Ass, and it was Coming Home.
Coming Home.
There was no lyrics on it, so I played 1 minute per song of those, just to get like...
a teaser.
Yeah, a teaser for the press that was there. And then it's been going on, not all the time from mid-June now, but sometimes it's very intensive for a week or 2, and then it's off a little bit, and then it's another week, and
because also you have studios. So
yeah, but the best part is I didn't book anything, because I knew that it's a job also. This is what comes with the making music, you know. I want to promote it. I don't want to sit home. A lot of people, it's funny, me and Till from Rammstein, when we go out and do interviews with Lindemann, he goes like, I don't do interviews. And I'm like, well, hey, if you don't do interviews, I won't do interviews. and we're both in the boat together. So you have to do interviews now. He's like, okay.
I'll do it.
So, you know, you go in there like, yeah, let's do interviews. And he's like, and you see he sits like this and he goes like, he falls more and more down a little bit like this. And I go, hey, listen.
Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, we did it together. And for me, I think it's fun. I'm probably the only artist that likes to do interviews.
Okay.
Not because I'm drinking beers all the time, because I don't drink beers all the time. But now it's Friday, so I figured I'd drink some beers.
Okay.
All right, concesso.
But I tell you, when I got really sick on 2 promotion days we did in Stockholm, I got the flu. I had fever, like very high fever, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." And he did the whole 2 days by himself. So he's like, he's the king,
Great.
you know.
So with Lindemann, actually, did you expect such a great success? And there will be actually another record for that project. What do you think?
When we started this 2000 talking. Blah blah blah.
Okay, let's do something together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Party.
Yeah.
And then 2013, Rammstein came to Sweden on a festival, and he called up, "Bring your family and come and watch the show."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And one of the first things he said was like, "Hey, I got 2 years off. Let's write some music." And I said, "Let's do it," because I was ready to start with the Pain album.
Yeah.
And then we started, I started sending him music. He sent it back with vocals that he recorded himself on there, and it was like, "Lady Boy." I was like, "What? What, Lady Boy?" I was like, "Oh." And then the snowball was on, you know, we just go crazy all the way, you know, and nobody knew about it. It was only son of my manager who knew about it. In the business, no record label, nobody. No. My brother, maybe his family and my family knew. Nobody else knew, because we knew like then it's gonna be chaos. Okay. So we did all the songs we wanted, and then we said, "Hello, who wants it?"
Okay. When it was finished.
Yeah, but that was not the point. The point was like we wanted to do something together. Some people go fishing together, or you know, whatever, you know, lay down puzzles or. And we were writing music, and we didn't think that we were gonna do an album or anything like that. But the more songs we did, we were like, "Wow, this is not bad. Let's do another one, okay, and another." And then we're like, "Okay, what do we do now?"
Wannabe lo dobbiamo dire.
Wannabe.
Premiere.
Yeah, premiere on Monday.
Lunedì.
The video, not a lyric video, but a normal
real
video.
Yeah. Ci saranno i
Any anticipation on the video you can give
No
us?
puppets.
No puppets.
No puppets. It's a very, very simple.
Simple?
Yeah, super simple video.
With a band? Or you?
No, only me. Okay. Sorry.
So the band.
Yeah, it's a very simple one. I mean, I like all these lyric videos, you know, that helps the band save money but still push it out, you know, and I think it's a very great idea. Whoever came up with that was pretty smart, I think, you know. I really
and brings attention to the lyrics as well. So
yeah, that's a problem if you're not a good lyrics.
Oh, okay. No, come on. Yeah.
But I think this one is just like I'm not just gonna say a regular video, but it's a lot of computer animations with me, and
so it's regular from the Pain point of view.
It's a regular video from Pain point of view. Yes,
correct.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Yep. That means no tits, no drugs, no sex, no nada.
Okay.
Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah,
Monday or Tuesday?
Monday it's gonna be out for exclusive for one song.
Vivo
but everybody can see it, of course. Okay. And then on Tuesday it comes out for everybody.
YouTube
and I don't understand because everybody can see it on Monday anyhow. So I don't see the exclusivity, but whatever makes people happy.
No, this is a business.
It's gonna be just on Nuclear Blast on Monday.
I think it's gonna be on a magazine.
Okay.
So I think actually it's gonna be Metal Hammer.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna be Metal Hammer in all the countries.
So you are very talented. Kiss.
Kiss.
Good. I like it. All right.
I collect old floaters.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Right.
I see. Okay. So you are a talented musician, as we already.
I wouldn't say that.
You
but-
are. I say
The
that.
other.
But I
we
like
say
to write
that.
music, I would
Okay.
say.
You're also a valued producer. Everybody wants you. So how do Peter as a musician deal with Peter as a producer? Which one is more demanding? Any case of split personalities? Se c'è uno sdoppiamento di personalità qualche volta? Since you said also you're schizophrenic, so. And concerning your accuracy in details, usually it takes you more time to compose or to redefine tracks during recording and productions.
I would say I'm very normal when it comes to producing other bands because I have a responsibility of their budget and responsibility to make sure they deliver a good album instead of sitting and party all day long or whatever. Like, oh, this is good. I heard so many examples of producers, bands that comes to me after they've been somewhere else and it didn't really work out. Now I'm not saying I'm the perfect person, but I heard some really scary stories about American producers and also some Swedish producers that
They have big names and.
and they actually
out of it.
they show up for the first day and then their engineer has to take care of it and to get their name on the album costs 50,000 euros.
Yeah.
But they're never there.
Okay.
I heard a lot of examples of that, but when I'm there, I'm 100% there.
Yeah.
This is not a commercial. I'm just saying what I do.
Yeah.
So then I really have to make sure the musicians perform the best they can, so it will be as tight as possible and well played from every musician, and also the responsibility of mixing it together so it sounds as good as possible. And when I'm working with myself, it's a total different story because of course I have a responsibility, but I only have a responsibility to myself.
Yes.
Not to the record label, not to the fans, to nobody. Because I push myself more than really is needed because I need to move forward, So it's not really easy to live with me when I'm doing the music and stuff because I'm so up in it. And I'm sure Sanna can really say yes on that.
Okay, she said yes.
Yeah. I get so tangled inside the whole thing, I want more than I can give, and then
that is demanding.
I demand too much from myself, but that's the only way to move forward, I think.
Sure.
But maybe people say the new album's like, it sounds like the other one.
Okay.
In the garbage can, but
okay.
What can I do? But at least I'm happy. Okay. I feel like I moved forward.
So this is the title track of the new album, and you said before that it was one of the last songs you finished with the lyrics.
Yeah.
So why this one came out to be the title track is because it had, a much complex genesis?
That's too fancy English for me. I don't know what you mean, but I will explain what I mean. I was really, empty.
Okay.
From doing like 11 songs, I think I did. 10, 11 songs, I don't know. Hello, was it 11 or 10 songs? 11. And the last lyrics I put on, I was very empty in my head.
Okay,
and,
so it was difficult.
Yeah, and I was sitting there just going like, what do I write? Because I always write the music first, as you hear it on the album. Maybe a minor thing here and there, but 99% what you hear on the album, I always write first, and then I sit with a piece of paper and a pen and just going, okay, which song to start with. But with this one, after doing like 9 or 10 lyrics, there was nothing left in my head.
Right.
So I actually wrote down what I was feeling.
And why this one is the title track in the end?
Because I didn't have a title track.
Okay.
So I formed the problem and made a solution.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's very honest lyrics on this because it was just the way I was singing it,
Okay.
You work really with a lot of different bands and artists from various genres.
Yeah.
Is there any one artist or band that you never worked with that you really would like to? And do you like Devin Townsend? Would you ever work with him?
He's a really great guy. He's a really nice guy. I met him a few times and we always talk, but we never really talk about. No.
Oh.
We're never talking about productions or anything. We talk like friends, like that, you know. So, yeah, he's a really genius. You know, he's a little bit more jazzy nerd. You know, super talented man. I can only say good words about him. You know, and if I would work with him, he would look at me and go like, "You don't know anything," you know. Can you do this at least? You know, so I don't know if I dare to work with him because he's a very talented man.
Okay. Is there any band or artist that you would like really to work with? Or?
Of course, you know, it's with everybody. You know, it's
everybody that wants you.
No, but when you like to interview. Who would you like to interview? Which is the biggest thing you would have gotten?
Okay, Keith Richards and also Prince, I would say, but it's too late.
Yeah, but never mind. They're still here somewhere. So I mean, you know, we all want to do get involved with the big guys or big girls or whatever you want to call it. You know, but also there's my career has always been like helping the little people become big. You know, I started up with. For an example, like Dimmu Borgir, you know, I was with them all the way up. I didn't write the songs, I don't take the credit for it, but I was there, you know. And same with Amon Amarth and a lot of bands, you know. And for me, that's more important than to jump right into a superstar. You know, I think it's very neat to see something build up from small and just go bigger. And I still follow these guys, and we're still friends, and we still have contact, and it's. For me, it's my babies, you know.
Right.
You know.
Good.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
See you the next year for Play Live here in Italy.
Yeah, in March. Thank you, Italy. I see you soon.